Woman, have you noticed the unusual attention on your life lately? It's not an accident. Someone has been given specific instructions to keep a close eye on you, not to limit you, but to protect, prepare, and position you. What you're carrying is rare, and heaven is making sure you reach your destination whole. This is your moment to see oversight as a sign of worth, not weakness. There comes a point in every woman's journey where her life attracts unusual attention. This is not random, it is the result of an assignment connected to your destiny. The phrase "someone has specific instructions to keep a close eye on you" is not a threat, it is a revelation. It means that your life, your decisions, and your environment have reached a level of significance that requires oversight. In the same way a valuable treasure is guarded, your purpose has drawn watchful eyes not to limit you, but to ensure your arrival at the next stage of your assignment. Every season in a woman's life is marked by purpose, and understanding that purpose begins with recognizing that nothing about your journey escapes notice. When we speak of divine awareness, or being watched over, it is easy to think of it as someone intruding or monitoring you in a negative way. But in the context of destiny, being seen is very different from being spied on. It is about significance. When a life has meaning, it attracts attention. Like a rare manuscript in a library or a precious stone in a jeweler's display, valuable things are placed under lights and behind protective glass. This is not because they are weak, but because they are precious. In the same way, when your life carries an assignment that matters, your actions and your seasons are seen with intention. Imagine an academic setting. A student in a basic introductory class may go unnoticed because the stakes are low. But a student working on her final thesis has supervisors, reviewers, and examiners. Her progress is tracked because the culmination of years of work is at stake. Similarly, when a woman steps into a higher level of calling or responsibility, unseen systems of care and visible people of influence take notice. This close eye is not about micromanagement, but about safeguarding progress. It is heaven's way of ensuring that what you are carrying is not lost or destroyed before its time. This awareness also speaks to worth. Many women have been conditioned to think they are invisible or overlooked. Yet the reality is often the opposite. You are watched, not ignored. Your journey is seen, and the timing of your life is not random. Knowing this can lift a sense of abandonment. It reframes challenges, delays, and even scrutiny as indicators of significance. Just as a seed underground is monitored for moisture and light so it can sprout, your hidden seasons are still attended to. Nothing you are walking through is wasted or unnoticed. Recognizing this also equips you to respond differently. If you believe no one sees you, you may act carelessly, lose discipline, or make decisions without weighing their impact. But if you understand that your life is under purposeful observation, you develop integrity and self-awareness. You speak and act from a place of alignment rather than impulse. You prepare for opportunities before they arrive. You guard your heart and your focus. This is not about living in fear of being judged. It is about living conscious of your assignment and its value. Divine awareness also often comes with subtle guidance. In practical terms, this can look like mentors appearing at the right time, doors opening or closing, or a sense of inward prompting. These are not coincidences, but expressions of oversight. The instructions to keep a close eye on you may have been given to people you do not yet know, teachers, employers, partners, or protectors who will appear at critical junctures. Their role is to shield, support, or challenge you so that you can rise to your full potential. Seeing it this way turns what might feel like interference into an opportunity for growth. Finally, this keynote is an invitation to value your own journey. If heaven values you enough to keep watch, you must also value yourself enough to walk wisely. You are not random. Your experiences, your gifts, and your future have weight. And because they have weight, they draw attention. Embrace that with gratitude, not suspicion. Let the awareness of being watched become a catalyst for excellence, integrity, and preparation. In doing so, you align with the purpose of the watch, not to control you, but to ensure you arrive at your destination whole, equipped and ready. When someone is instructed to watch over you, it is rarely a random act, it is a response to your value. In life, what is precious is guarded. Banks protect money, museums protect art, and governments protect secrets. The greater the value, the greater the level of care. In the same way, when you as a woman carry potential, influence, or a mission that affects others, a system of protection and guidance often forms around you. This does not mean you are weak or incapable. It is evidence that what you hold is rare and worthy of preservation. Understanding this shifts your perspective from seeing oversight as restriction to recognizing it as affirmation of your significance. It is important to make a clear distinction between unhealthy control and healthy guardianship. Unhealthy control seeks to dominate, limit, and define you for someone else's benefit. It strips you of autonomy and suppresses your growth. Healthy guardianship, on the other hand, seeks to protect, develop, and position you for your own good and the good of those you will impact. Think of a young tree. If it is rare and valuable, a gardener may place stakes around it or build a fence. The fence is not to stunt its growth, but to keep animals from damaging it before it matures. Once it becomes strong, the fence can be removed because the tree can stand on its own. In the same way, when you are in a stage of development, guidance and protection can create the environment needed for you to grow without being destroyed by premature exposure or attack. Recognizing this difference helps you respond wisely. Many women, out of past experiences, confuse mentorship or support with manipulation. They resist every form of input, thinking independence means isolation. But independence without guidance can lead to unnecessary mistakes and wasted time. The key is discernment. Ask yourself, is this oversight aimed at building me or controlling me? Does it empower me to grow stronger or make me dependent? Is it anchored in respect for my purpose or in fear of my potential? The answers to these questions reveal whether the watch over your life is protective or possessive. This keynote also educates you on how to posture yourself under healthy guidance. When someone is assigned to support you, be it a teacher, a supervisor, a mentor, or even an unexpected ally, you have a responsibility to engage the process. That means learning, listening, and applying wisdom, not becoming passive. Protection and guidance are not substitutes for your own effort. They are supports for your development. A valuable jewel may be kept in a vault, but it is still refined, cut, and polished to reveal its brilliance. Similarly, the care around your life is there to create space for your refinement and readiness. Another dimension to this is timing. Often, the closer you are to a significant transition, the more visible the oversight becomes. In the workplace, it may be a senior manager who begins to pay attention to your projects. In your personal life, it may be someone who advises you during a season of change. These moments can feel intense, but they are often indicators that you are on the verge of promotion or a new assignment. The care around you increases because the stakes are higher. Instead of reacting with fear or suspicion, you can interpret it as a sign of elevation. Finally, understanding that protection and guidance are signs of value helps you maintain self-respect. You are not being watched because you are untrustworthy. You are being watched because you are entrusted. This is a powerful shift. It affirms that your gifts, your calling, and your future are worth safeguarding. As you internalize this, you can embrace guidance without losing your individuality. You can honor those who have been assigned to help you while still walking in personal responsibility. In doing so, you allow healthy guardianship to do its work, shielding you from harm, positioning you for opportunity, and preparing you to step into your destiny strong, mature, and whole. Being closely observed often signals that new connections, opportunities, or responsibilities are approaching. In life, proximity and attention are rarely accidental. When a woman begins to attract new levels of focus, whether from mentors, supervisors, or even unseen forces, it usually means she is in a season of preparation for something greater. Preparation is not just about learning skills, it is about shaping the whole person, mindset, habits, character, and readiness for strategic relationships. Seeing observation in this light helps you respond not with anxiety, but with expectation. Think of an athlete preparing for a championship. As the competition draws near, she is watched more closely by her coach, nutritionist, and trainers. Her diet is monitored, her movements evaluated, her performance analyzed. This is not done to control her, but to fine-tune her for excellence. In the same way, when you are on the brink of a significant assignment, increased attention is often part of your fine-tuning. People may suddenly notice your work, ask questions about your plans, or offer advice. You may even feel evaluated in unexpected ways. All of this can be a signal that you are moving from a hidden stage into a public one. This also means your preparation must become intentional. Strategic connections require a prepared person. Opportunities are wasted when you arrive unready. If someone has been given instructions to keep a close eye on you, it may be because you are being positioned for a partnership, a leadership role, or an open door that will influence others. Rather than fearing the scrutiny, begin to ask yourself, what am I being prepared for? What habits do I need to strengthen? What knowledge or discipline should I acquire now so I am not caught off guard later? Preparation in this sense is holistic. It includes your inner life, your values, patience, resilience, and your outer life, your skills, relationships, and reputation. Strategic connections can accelerate your journey, but only if your character can sustain the opportunity. Many people receive visibility before they have maturity, and the result is burnout or setback. Being watched closely is therefore a gift. It gives you time and feedback to develop in safety before you step into something larger. Another aspect of preparation is discernment. Not everyone who notices you has been sent to support you. Some observers are mentors, others may be distractors. When you know you are in a season of increased attention, you must sharpen your ability to tell the difference between a genuine guide and a manipulative presence. This requires reflection, prayer, and sometimes wise counsel. The right strategic connection will challenge you to grow, respect your boundaries, and point you toward your purpose. The wrong connection will drain your focus or redirect you away from what matters. This is why self-awareness and grounded values are crucial during seasons of observation. There is also a timing element. Often, the watch over your life intensifies just before a major transition. You might be on the edge of a promotion, about to launch a project, or entering a new chapter of influence. The closer you get to that moment, the more deliberate the preparation becomes. Instead of seeing this as pressure, treat it as training. Athletes don't resent their coaches for scrutinizing them before a competition. They understand the scrutiny is an investment in their success. Likewise, when you are being kept an eye on, it can be an investment in your readiness. Finally, seeing observation as preparation empowers you to cooperate with the process. Rather than shrinking back or hiding, you can lean in. Ask questions, seek feedback, and build habits of excellence. Clarify your vision and goals so that when the strategic connection arrives, whether it is a new partnership, a mentor, or an unexpected opportunity, you are ready to receive it. In doing so, you transform the experience of being watched from something passive into something participatory. You become an active steward of your own preparation, aligning your growth with the larger purpose for which you are being positioned. By embracing this perspective, you shift from fear to readiness. The eyes on you are not simply to monitor, but to help position you for what's next. The scrutiny is not a cage, it is a classroom. And when the time comes for the opportunity to emerge, you will find yourself not only seen but also prepared, mature, and capable of stepping confidently into your next assignment. When your life carries weight and others have been instructed to keep a close eye on you, it does not only bring privilege, it also brings responsibility. Observation is not meant to intimidate you, but to call you into higher standards of integrity, wisdom, and self-leadership. Knowing that you are being watched by mentors, by those you influence, by unseen forces, should awaken a sense of stewardship. It is an invitation to live deliberately rather than reactively, to model the values and discipline that align with your purpose. Responsibility under observation begins with inner character. When a person is unseen, she may be tempted to compromise, thinking her choices have no consequence. But a woman who understands that her life is significant recognizes that every decision, even in private, shapes her future. The habits you form, the words you speak, the way you handle pressure, all of these are being recorded in the invisible curriculum of your destiny. Living with this awareness produces integrity, which means being whole and consistent regardless of who is looking. Integrity is not for appearances. It is the infrastructure that allows you to sustain influence without collapse. This sense of responsibility also extends to wisdom. When you are being closely observed, your actions can teach others, inspire confidence, or cause confusion. You are no longer just living for yourself. Your life becomes a reference point for those who follow. That means learning to pause before reacting, to weigh consequences before decisions, and to manage your emotions with maturity. Wisdom does not suppress authenticity, it channels your authenticity so that it builds rather than breaks. Another layer of responsibility is discernment about boundaries. Being watched does not mean surrendering all privacy or control of your life. Healthy oversight requires mutual respect. You are called to cooperate with guidance, but also to guard your personal values. This balance protects you from becoming dependent or manipulated. It keeps your growth self-directed while still benefiting from external support. A wise woman under observation knows how to accept feedback without losing her voice, how to be teachable without being dominated. Living responsibly while being watched also involves preparation for transition. Often, the scrutiny on your life increases because you are moving toward a larger platform, leadership role, or assignment. In that stage, small missteps can have amplified consequences. Responsibility means tightening your habits, improving your time management, strengthening your skills, clarifying your goals, so that when opportunity arrives, you are not found unready. It is much like a pilot being evaluated before flying passengers. The evaluation is not punishment but assurance that lives can be entrusted to your hands. There is also an emotional component. Feeling watched can trigger fear, self-consciousness, or the desire to hide. But responsibility under observation means transforming that pressure into fuel for growth. Instead of shrinking, you rise. Instead of performing for approval, you develop authentic excellence. This shift turns scrutiny into a sharpening tool rather than a burden. You learn to welcome constructive feedback, to reflect on your progress, and to celebrate growth instead of perfection. Finally, responsibility under watch calls you to model discernment for others. People are learning from how you handle your own season of oversight. By responding with humility, clarity, and strength, you teach them how to navigate similar seasons. In this way, your personal integrity becomes a public curriculum. You show that being watched does not have to mean being controlled, and that guidance does not diminish individuality. It can instead produce maturity, resilience, and influence. By embracing this level of responsibility, you move from being a passive recipient of attention to an active steward of your destiny. You stop asking, "Why are people watching me?" and start asking, "How can I grow under this watch?" This attitude transforms observation into empowerment. It turns potential pressure into preparation, and it positions you not just to be someone worth watching, but someone capable of leading, teaching, and inspiring when the eyes eventually shift from you to those you will guide. Every part of this message has been about one central truth. Being watched is not about being controlled. It is about being prepared, protected, and positioned. Your life has value, and because it has value, it attracts oversight. That oversight is a signal that you are carrying something rare and important. It is heaven's way, and sometimes life's way, of saying, "What you hold matters too much to be left unguarded." When you understand this, you stop fearing the eyes on you and start focusing on who you are becoming under their gaze. You learn to welcome protection without losing autonomy, to discern mentorship from manipulation, and to cooperate with preparation instead of resisting it. You also embrace responsibility, living with integrity, sharpening your wisdom, strengthening your character, so that when the opportunity or assignment arrives, you are ready to stand in it with strength and maturity. So, woman, lift your head and steady your heart. The watch over your life is not a sign of weakness, it is a sign of worth. Respond to it with gratitude, discernment, and intentional growth. Let it refine you, not confine you. And when the moment comes for you to step into the place you have been prepared for, you will find that every eye that watched over you was part of the process of making you ready to fulfill the purpose for which you were created.